Hi guys, this is your Tuesday video for Beyond the Borderline. Before I sort of go into the video, I just need to tell you that probably for the next 2 weeks, hopefully it's only 2 weeks, but possibly 3 weeks, I won't be able to upload videos on this channel, or any of my channels, whatever, because I'm actually moving home, and I need to wait till my internet service gets transferred to my new apartment. So just so you know that you won't be getting Tuesday videos from me. Hopefully it's just for the next 2 weeks, but who knows. So I am sorry about that. So this week's question is, how do you overcome the stigma attached to borderline personality disorder, in particular shame of the suicide attempts, anger, frustration, outbursts, and when people tell you it's not a real mental illness? Sort of, I can't really answer this from personal experience because it's not particularly happened to me. Nobody's ever said to me that it's not a real mental illness, but sort of people have sort of roundabout said it. You know, it really pisses me off when like mental health professionals say you have problems managing your emotions rather than it's a mental health problem, because it just makes it sound like I can stop it all just by taking control of my emotions or whatever. Yes, BPD is another way of saying emotional unstable personality disorder, but you know, the focus should be on the fact that it's a disorder. Sort of like in the last week's question about views on mental illness and, you know, sort of discrimination and stuff towards people with mental illness, it's the same really. If people are going to say that to you, that it's, you know, something that's not a problem, you know, that it's not a real illness, you know, it's got disorder in the diagnosis, you know, it's a problem that you can't magically easily make better by yourself, you know, otherwise you would have done. Who would put themselves through the hell of BPD if they could easily just stop all the behaviours? You know, people have their opinions, and many people in the world are really uneducated about mental disorders, illnesses, mental health problems, whatever title you want to give it. People don't understand, and very little in terms of like the public is known about BPD, and people have views on it from what they think it is and that, and you know, a lot of it's not true what they believe, and that's not their fault. The best thing you can do is not get caught up on getting upset about it or putting yourself down just because they don't understand. At the end of the day, to have been diagnosed with BPD, you know, you would have seen a professional who knows this stuff, and they would have explained it to you. They would have explained your problems, the diagnosis, treatment options. You know, you will know that it's real. It's not something, you know, you get lost in the illness. It's not something like you do something and you realise, oh yeah, that was my BPD. That wasn't something I should have done, you know, I could have stopped that because I don't have a real illness. The fact is, it is a real illness, and I'm sure that you know, because, you know yourself, at the end of the day. You don't need to listen to what other people think. Yes, it upsets you, you know, it upsets me, but they don't understand. That's the end of it. In terms of shame about suicide attempts, with suicide attempts and borderline personality disorder, I think lots of people are different, and their suicide attempts, whatever, might be to different levels of genuineness, whatever the word would be. You know, from my experience of trying to end my life, my suicide attempts were genuine attempts to die, and I'm not ashamed, because anybody that's been in a situation of feeling like that I was, knows that it is hell, and I wouldn't, you know, I don't feel ashamed of it. I got into that situation in my head where in my life I could not go on, and that is why I tried to kill myself. I'm not ashamed that that's how I felt. You know, there's reasons as to why I felt like that, and depression, BPD, my other mental illnesses contributed to how I felt. I don't feel any reason to be ashamed at the fact that I tried to kill myself. My past is part of who I am. I'm a stronger person now. Yes, I felt how I did, and yes, I tried to kill myself. There isn't any need to be ashamed at the fact that your life got too much and you wanted it to stop. There's no shame in that, and you shouldn't be made to feel like there is. Yes, the stigma around suicide attempts and stuff, but at the end of the day, like everything else, this is other people's opinions, and if you feel ashamed about your suicide attempts because that's your feelings, then that's fine, and maybe you need to work with a professional or by yourself, you know, sort of self-help, to sort of understand why you feel that way, why you felt that way in the first place and stuff, rather than get upset about the fact that you did it. But if you're feeling like you're ashamed of it because of what other people have said to you, then you don't need to be. You shouldn't have to feel less, you know, you shouldn't be made to feel like you're less of a person because of what other people have said to you. Don't, you know, it's easy to say don't let what other people say affect you, because at the end of the day it will. It upsets you because they're not saying nice things, but get upset about it and then forget about it. Don't dwell on it, because it's people's opinions, and it's not worth getting upset about what other people think. If they're going to be nasty to you or say horrible things, then they're not worth knowing. Anger outbursts. Yeah, the way I look at it is that I behaved how I behaved because I was unwell. Yes, I had BPD or had whatever, and I was unwell with the disorder, and it's real. I didn't choose to behave how I did. Yes, I could have controlled myself perhaps, but I didn't know how to. But I behaved how I did because I was unwell. It's not because that's who I am. That's not what my behaviour is like normally. There's no, like I've been saying, there's no point in keep getting upset about it because it's happened. And you were unwell. I'm sure you know that you're not a person that treats people how you might do when you're not well. You might not be such an angry, aggressive person when you're, you know, doing well. Try and remember that. Try and distinguish between the times when you're particularly unwell to times when you're not, and you'll see that you are a lovely person. You're still lovely when you're not well, but you might behave in ways that doesn't come across like that. But don't, like I've been saying, don't drag yourself down because of things you've done when you haven't been feeling particularly well. yeah, so I hope that's helped. I've waffled on for 10 minutes, that's when I'll stop. But yeah, I'm not sure when I'll speak to you next. If I can get internet somewhere else, then I'll try and upload in the next 2 weeks, but I won't be able to upload from mine because I won't have the internet. So I hope everything's okay, and I look forward to speaking to you soon, hopefully. See ya!